Legislative session winding down. The question that many are asking after nearly a year has passed since the ill-fated lame duck Prop 1 was hatched is, does the legislature have anything else to say on the issue of roads?
24 News 8 political reporter Rick Albin is here with what he's hearing in Lansing. Rick.
Well, it's just what I'm hearing, and the odds-on bet is if there is something done with roads, it's going to involve revenues, raising taxes from somewhere. If that's the case, it seems most likely it would happen at the end of this session, as far away from next year's election as possible. But then again, I'm using conventional wisdom where none has been applied so far. Let's look at this timeline. These are the scheduled days between now and the November break for lawmakers. 16 session days. Now, they could add days, as we all know how fond they are of staying in the chamber all night to make important decisions. So they can expand their time, but these are the days that seem most likely if something's going to happen. They're also scheduled to meet in December, but many lawmakers that I talk to say they want to get this done before the break and move on to some other issues, and there are some big issues out there. The original price tag of $1.2 billion a year for the next 10 years has grown in the estimation of some because this has gone unmet for so long. Several years have passed since that $1.2 billion came out. About $1.5 billion is what some people think it will take. It's being tossed around, but it's not clear that the legislature can get there or anywhere for that matter. Last week, I was told that the House might be ready, if not ready to vote, at least to talk about increasing revenues. At least two sources said that could be as much as $800 million. Now, no one's saying that as a matter of fact, but privately, that has been more or less a consensus for a number involved in this for some weeks or months. That means other money would have to come from existing funds. More than $400 million has been diverted into roads this year alone, and if that continued, though it's not clear it can, and the legislature really could come up with $800 million in new taxes, that would get to the $1.2 billion originally talked about. Now, legislators are aware that this is still a big priority. If I go out here and ask these folks out on the plaza, they would say they want their roads fixed. But there are also a lot of them who believe it can be done with existing revenues, and that puts legislators in the same bind that they have been now for over 2 years. But that's what I'm hearing they're talking about.
They like to schedule those all-night sessions.
Yeah, and they like not to schedule them, too. They like just to stay in session when we don't know. So you just got to pack a razor.
All right. Thank you, Rick.